guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Alessia and I'm a mindset and positivity coach, and this video is going to be about how to live your best life in 2020. So I hope you have some warm beverage with you. I have some tea because it's nighttime here in Miami. I like those yogi teas that give you like a little messages. This one says, say it straight, simple, and with a smile. So yeah, I'm gonna live by this example, and let's dive right into it. So how to live your best life in 2020. 2020, I like this number. It's kind of a good number because it kind of gives you a sense of a new beginning. You can kind of feel that everybody right now is putting everything that they had in the past, like all the good things and bad things behind, and then it's like a clean new slate and you can get started over and start fresh. So first of all, what I want you to think about if you want to live your best life in 2020 is you need to take an inventory of where you are right now. So as a mindset coach, I work with people pretty much taking them from where you are right now to where you want to be, from point A to point B. So for you to get to point B, pretty much you need to take an honest inventory of where you are. And how to do that, there are different ways to do that. So there is like a total life assessment, but the easiest way is I like to use different categories, like 7 categories on which you can honestly like rate yourself and figure out where you are. Those categories are, and I usually like to write them down in a sketchbook. I prefer something like this. I bought this at Target, and I like those because this is my second one, by the way. I like it because it's online. It doesn't have any like lines on it, nothing, so it gives you creativity to write and draw and like create your own, which is what I love. And this is the one that I've used in the past that I finished already and I filled it up. I'm such a nerd. I write everything down, like everything. If I want to try some like weekly life experiments, if I want to travel somewhere, if I need to get a lot of things done, ideas, what I need to buy at Target, like everything, like my payments for the months, like some random drawings, all of that. Anyways, long story short, so we want to use something that feels good to you, that you're going to write down your assessment. And I feel like I'm rambling, so I'm going to get right to it. So there are 7 categories of your life that you can improve and that you can assess and create improvement in. So as follows, in no particular order. So there's career, financial, spiritual, physical and health, intellectual, family relationships, and social. I kind of like to put family and relationships together with the social one because I'm single and I'm from a different country, so my whole family lives in Belarus and I live here in Miami. But the rest of them, so let's make it 7 or 6 categories. Depends on your life, obviously. Everybody has different situations. And in those categories, you can then figure out where you are and where is it that you would like to improve. And for example, I'll give you the ideas of what I use. For example, career, right? The first one. Think about where you are right now in your career and what are the upgrades you can do. Maybe there's a promotion you can ask for. Maybe there's a raise that's coming up for you. Maybe you can move into a management position. Maybe you want to change your career altogether. Who knows? So that would be your career improvement, right? And where you are. The next one is financial. For me, financial, well, money is important. You know that. Everybody knows that. Financial, for me, for example, in 2020, the goal would be to become debt-free. That includes credit cards, that includes any like things that you owe, payments on your phone. This could be student loans, your car payments, all of that. That's considered debt. That's one of the things you can improve. If you don't have that problem, good for you. But if you do, that could be another thing that you can improve for financial situation. Also, financial goals could be for you buying a house or saving a down payment, or this could be getting a savings account or anything, right? And then spiritual goals, those could be where you are spiritually, right? There are good improvements you can add is meditation. This is so important. You probably hear it in all self-help videos. You're like, duh, meditation, it's so important to like sit still. But actually it's so helpful for your mind because we forget with everyday activities that we are not our thoughts. And once you learn how to meditate with a practice, with everyday practice or even weekly practice, you will learn to separate yourself from the thoughts, and that will give you perspective or new thoughts yeah, about how to live your life. The next one is spiritual. No, that was already, never mind, we've done that. It could be also yoga for spiritual. Next one, physical and health. That's also pretty obvious. Absolutely everybody is in a different place and state. For somebody it could be amazing improvement, for example, to start taking daily walks or joining the gym or anything like that. It could be weight goals, or it could be just overall like health improvement. For me, that would be to move my body 3 times a week at least. And I also added here the supplements. Supplements is a good idea to take. You also know obviously what deficiencies you may have. My favorite supplements that I like to take are from Dr. Pericon. Not sponsored, I wish. I bought them on sale when they were for New Year's, 70% off. These are my favorite. I'm taking these right now. It's called Skin and Total Body, and they come in like this. There's like 8 different pills you take every day. I don't know if you can see, but these are awesome. They help with skin, and I love them. And another great one that I've been taking already for a year is Omegas. I also take them from Dr. Pericon, and those help me to not age. Okay, and you have to look like this, and that just makes your skin glow from the inside. And also Omegas are great to just keep you in an overall positive mood, which, you know, we all been there. Sometimes you're happy, sometimes we go like the life ebbs and flows, and some supplements are not bad. Another category for life improvement would be intellectual. Intellectual for me, that would be reading 2 new books a month. That is my goal. Sometimes I read 2 books, sometimes I read 3, sometimes I barely finish 1. Depends on how my month goes. Obviously, if I'm busier with work and activities that I'm doing, I usually read less, but overall the goal for the whole year is to read 24 books. And then, so it's 2 books a month. And I usually track them. I'm going to talk about it later. I have a habit tracker that I created, and that will be really helpful for you. And another thing for intellectual, I also add here 3 new activities. That could be not only intellectual, but that could also go towards your like physical and health goals. To me, 3 new activities could be go watch a new movie, could be go to a new city, go to a new museum, take a new class, go do something you haven't done before, take a dancing class, take a photography class. Even like right now I'm filming this YouTube video. It's my first video, believe it or not. I shouldn't say that, you know, it's my 2nd video, but that's something new. That's a new activity to try, and that gets you out of your comfort zone. This is really, really, really good for you. And the last one for me, it's a family, relationships, and social. So improvements in this area could be socialize 3 times a month. If you're single, it could be go on 3 dates a month. It could be just put yourself out there more and talk to new people, and maybe listen to somebody, like really take your time to listen to someone. For example, at work when I'm talking to someone and they may seem like, you know, sometimes people come into you and they just feel like you're very approachable, and they start just dumping their whole life at you without you even asking, like with details. And instead of just running away and just being like, whoa, like thank you for telling me, like I didn't ask you for that, what if you just listen? What if you just slow down and just be kind and just try to be genuinely curious and maybe give something to that person that they need, because obviously they reach out to you. Maybe they're just crazy, who knows, but but if there's somebody that genuinely could use your help and you're in position to do it, do it. If you see that somebody is not feeling well, give them a compliment, and that will also, you know, people are great teachers. They reflect things that we don't see about ourselves, and sometimes they give you perspectives that you otherwise cannot see. All right, so I'm rambling. I also like to add, so that was the categories of the life that you can take assessment in and take your inventory of your life and make improvements, right? And I gave you my improvements. Another goals that I like to add travel goals, because I love traveling. So for me, my ultimate life goal, and I'm sure I'm gonna reach it, would be to travel once a month, to take a trip once a month. That would be fantastic. Even if it's just for a day, you know, just take off and just go to New York for 1 day and just explore the city and go back. Like, this is absolutely what I'm striving for, striving towards. Yeah, English is not my first language. And then another thing you can add is giving goals. For example, if you want to donate something, if you want to help somebody, random acts of kindness, sending like a care package to your friends. And another thing would be a fun and adventures, which goes also towards intellectual goals, just like concerts, museums, something fun that you can do with your time. And I'm going to show you how to implement it. So now that we took an inventory of what is it that we want to improve, I want to tell you that first of all, resolutions don't work, habits do. Again, resolutions don't work, habits do. So it's already almost February, right? Today that I'm filming it, it's January 30th, 2020. How many of you still going to the gym? well, I am going, but how many of you already dropped the diet or whatever it is was your resolution for this year? So see, that's a habit, and I mean, that's not a habit, that's a resolution. And resolutions fall as soon as you start feeling a little bit down, you lose a little bit of motivation, you get a little bit more tired, and your subconscious takes you back to the comfortable way of being, which was your habitual way of being. So that takes us back to the point that habits work, and how to implement new habits. You have to track them. You have to decide, okay, this is the new habit, and it doesn't have to be many habits at once. You know, you can just choose one and focus on one, and that will improve your whole life. But pick one thing that you want to improve, and then focus on it, track it, write it down, prioritize it, and it will work. How to schedule habits. So for me, so I have overall list of things that I want to accomplish in 2020. I've written them down here. And then also I started doing this since last year, like October, November. This is a habit tracker. It's very amateur looking, I apologize, but it works for me. So I take a piece of my sketchbook every month and I just make this like a calendar, and I can go in depth into it if you guys want. And every day I would write down important things that I want to, like I would write down things that I want to accomplish. Let's say I want to take 12 yoga classes, and each time I will take one, I will cross it off and I'll put it in my calendar. Let's say I want to drop weight to a certain weight, I'll put it here and I'll see like my progress. I'll write it down daily, for example. Let's say I want to like decrease my credit card debt by 1,000, so I'll write down whenever I can do it, like whenever payments I want to you know which payments I want to take. Social different social and family plans, I write them down here. Different discipline, like reading the books and exercising, right? And then for example, this one is for November, and here I also have things that I wanted to do, like my yoga classes. I also, if I go out, I track like if I drink, because I don't have a problem with it, but I just like to be healthy overall. So I track that to see my progress, my debt repayment schedule, things that I want to do, like fun things. For example, here I have to do meal prepping 3 times a week, take a new class, work 25 minutes on my hustle. Hi, it was on November's list, we're doing it now, but oh well, you know, divine timing. Next, so I told you about my scheduling and my tracker. Oh, another thing I like to do is, excuse me while I reach out for my phone, I like to put all my habits into a calendar. So for example, this month I want to work on my program, 10 minutes a day. I would like to work on my coaching program that I'm creating. So I schedule it in my calendar every time, like for the months, I put it here in the notes, and I just, you know, change it every day if I've done it. If I didn't do it, it's important to tell you guys that you need to be kind to yourself. So it's good and great to have all these habits and track them, but there will be days when you will just feel like nothing is working. You will just be not in the mood, people will be getting on your nerves, and you will not be in the mood to just be your best self and just be motivated and keep doing it. And it's okay. Give yourself that day, that 24 hours, 48 hours to just feel the feelings, acknowledge them, and after that just pick yourself back up and move on, because that's what habits are about. It's just making sure that you will not get stuck into the negative pattern, that you will let yourself feel the feelings and then you just pick up and go back to being your best self, right? And then another thing I wanted to tell you about is that happiness is pretty much, we're kind of born with it, but we kind of also can train it. You know, some people are happier than others naturally because of obviously different like chemical balances or imbalances in our brains, but you can train yourself to be happy. Like people tell me all the time, oh, you're always like so naturally happy, like why? First of all, I've been through a lot of shit. That's number one. And once you've been through many things and experienced many things, you start to trust yourself more and believe in yourself more, and you realize that small things don't bother you anymore. Like, you know, if you, I don't know how to give you an example, but you know what I mean. Another thing, to be happy, you can always just train yourself to focus on the good. No matter, like whenever I meet the person, they could be in a terrible mood, you know, and I'm just not gonna go on their level. I'm just gonna be like trying to find compassion, trying to find something that I like in any situation we have. Because if you let yourself spiral down like negative thoughts, then you will just it will just ruin your whole day, and it will just ruin the mood of people around you. So why not instead focus on the good? Let's say you could be bored at work and there would be nothing to do. Find something that you like, find something fun to do, organize something, go to talk to people, ask them how their day was, help them find something, do something that serves others, and that will put you in a good mood. So yeah, the point is, happiness is a muscle, and you can work on it, and you can develop it, and it will be easier as you go, and you will just consciously be you will be consciously choosing positive thoughts, and that will additionally attract more positive events into your life, and they'll make you feel happier, and then you will make other people happier, and it's just like a positive cycle, so it's not bad. Try it. I recommend it. And another thing I wanted to talk about is, I have it written down, so the books, the supplements, yes, so pretty much those are my tips on how to live your best life in 2020. Figure out where you are, figure out where you want to be, make habits and track them, be kind to yourself, stay in a positive mindset, help others. And the last one I want to ask you, don't forget to dream big, right? So whenever I write down my plans for a year, I always include one or two things. Like, I include things that are really easy to achieve, because I am such a planner. Like, I love lists. Like, give me a good list and I would just be checking the things off of it. It makes me so happy. So the point is, I make a list of things that I want to do, and I always put one or two things that are super easy achievable, that I know that I will, so that gives me a motivation to keep going. And I always put one or two things that are out of my reach, and that also goes for my list for just in general, like in my sketchbook where I keep everything that I plan for my life to be like. Put a couple things that will be super out of your reach, and I want you to think about it, by the way. So that's what I want you to leave in the comment section down below. Think about what would be the coolest thing that could happen to you this year. Think about it. And I've heard it from somebody else. It's not my wording, so I'm not going to take credit for it. But I really like it. I read it somewhere, and it says, think about it. What would be the coolest thing that could happen to you this year? Like for me, for example, it was to go to Machu Picchu in Peru. And it looks like it's happening. Like, I was just thinking about it in December without not speaking Spanish, white girl not speaking any Spanish, and I would be scared to go by myself, even though I've solo traveled a couple times to Canada and to Amsterdam, but that's not one of the places you go to by yourself with not speaking the language. So I wrote this down, and it looks like it's gonna happen. So I think I might have to add a couple more things that are like a little bit out of reach, that, for example, like, see if you can manifest $100,000 income this year. If that's not how much you're making already. If you do, awesome. Or see if you can manifest, I don't know, meeting your soulmate, or see if you can manifest. I, for example, would like to go to the training in Amsterdam. There's neuro-linguistic programming training that they do that costs like 5,000 euros, that I have no idea how I'm gonna afford, but with all my other goals that I have planned for this year. But I wrote it down because I would like to do that. That's something I would like to experience. And once you do that, once you put that in the list of, like, you don't know how you're gonna experience that, but you kind of want it, so you just put it out there. But it's like not life or death situation if you're not gonna get it, but that would be cool if you have it. Sometimes you'll be surprised that you will see yourself, you'll forget about this, and year down the lane, or like a year and a half maybe, in the timing that is supposed to happen, you will look back and you'll be like, oh, holy, I wrote this down and this is happening to me. I've been there. It totally works. It goes, I guess, back to manifestation, laws of manifestation, law of attraction, or other things you will, but we can talk about it in another video. So I would like for you to write down, what is it, that one thing for you that would be the coolest thing that you can manifest or make it happen in this year. And please dream big. I mean, it's okay if you don't know how you're gonna achieve it. You're not supposed to know how, you're just supposed to know what, and you're supposed to feel the feelings of you having it. And once you do that, you'll attract it to you. But we can talk about it more in another video. So also, I would like to know your tips and tricks on how to live your best life. And if there's anything that I missed or anything you would like me to elaborate on, please also leave it in the comment section. Also, like, subscribe, because I'm trying to bring more positivity into this world, and together we can make it happen. So yeah, let's be kind to each other, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.